What's up, guys? My name is Axeltoss, joined by Axslav. You're watching the MajorLeagueGaming.com stream, and we're here covering some Heart of the Swarm stuff. We're doing a little bit of an exhibition series throughout the entire week, starting at 5 p.m. Eastern. We'll talk a little bit more about that, but first, I missed you guys. It's been a while since we've been here on the desk. Axslav, how has your 4-week break been? How long has it been? 3 weeks?
Yeah, it's been 2 weeks, 3 weeks off the air, 2 weeks off break.
Yeah.
You know, had a little bit of time to get things set up again. That was pretty fun though. Went on a little microbrew tour in California. You know, yeah, tried some new brews. Had a good time. I hope you guys had a good time as well, and I hope you're gonna have a great time tonight because we have a series of some good stuff coming for you guys.
Yeah, every single day, 5 p.m. Eastern, we're going to do something related to Heart of the Swarm. That's the idea. Today, it's going to be a King of the Hill. That said, if you want to participate, you should probably be Grandmaster or at the pro level, so I can pick you. We're doing it live, so it's going to be channel MLG and Heart of the Swarm. So again, if you're a pro or you're a high Grandmaster, you want to test yourself out against some of the better players in Heart of the Swarm, feel free to join the channel, and we might pick you to participate.
Right.
That being said, let's talk about the format really quick. It's going to be 1v1, standard King of the Hill. Challenger comes in, they choose a map, and they're like, all right, I'm going to challenge you. I pick this map. It's going to be from the Blizzard Ladder map pool, so you can't go choose Micro Tournament or something. You have to choose a map from the Blizzard Ladder map pool. The winner will move on to the next game, and the first to 5 wins is declared the victor. Also coming up after this is going to be Rules of Engagement.
That's right, sir.
By Mr. Axslav. It's going to be Talking Tactics.
Indeed, sir.
Looking forward to that, and then following that, we got some other game action going on. But that being said, let's see if these two players are ready. And y'all don't know the players yet. I'm keeping that a little bit
confidential.
of a surprise. Yeah. And one player is ready, and the other is, or we're going to wait on that for a second, but it's going to be Lzgamer versus Abomb, and they're giving the go-go, so we're going to start the game here. What do you think about this match to start things off?
It's going to be great for me to watch. You know, I haven't had a chance to play as much Heart of the Swarm as I'd, of course, like to. And it's really exciting because these guys are both really, really good at Heart of the Swarm. They've both been playing almost exclusively Heart of the Swarm over the last month or so. And so we can really see people, they're not going to be like, oh, what's this new unit, and just kind of messing around with it. They actually know what they're doing. They've played it for a while. And we can see what these guys were both great at the regular Wings of Liberty. Now they're great at Heart of the Swarm. You know, what do they think is the most optimal way to play this new game? Which I don't know the answer to that. So
I don't think a lot of people do. I mean, that's one of the biggest things right now is, all right, Heart of the Swarm, sure, it's a new game, but it's not technically a new game. I mean, it's based a lot on StarCraft 2 Wings of Liberty because it's an expansion. Logically, that makes sense. You know, there's a lot of new units, a lot of new strategies that could potentially be used, a lot of completely different openers for some of the races. I mean, we could already talk about the Protoss, of course, our Protoss player in the bottom right here, by the name of Abomb. And, you know, the Mothership Core is always something you're going to be talking about in the early part of games, or, you know, in Heart of the Swarm. The Mothership Core allows you to be very safe as a Protoss player, has a lot of nifty abilities where you can take expansions a little bit faster. And of course, his opponent in the top left, it's going to be Lzgamer, of course. You know, the blues are in the top left here on Acheron Wastes. Of course, new maps are here as well. You know, this map is actually in Wings of Liberty too. It was just recently added.
It is. So it's not like people really explored this map a lot in Wings of Liberty. It was first the Heart of the Swarm map, recently brought to Wings of Liberty. One of the questions I've always asked myself in the Heart of the Swarm I played is when to get that Mothership Core. Because it is, you know, like you mentioned, it's such a powerful defensive tool. But against Zerg, at least, you're not going to do too much damage off the bat with it, just because the queens, they have 2 queens, they can chase it away. And of course, if you're getting that, you're not getting probes, or you're not getting sentries or something else. So I'm never sure myself when to add it into my play. It looks like he is going for a Nexus first, so he's not going to open with it very fast. But when is he going to get it as soon as his core finishes, or is he going to crank out probes and wait till it's saturation and then produce it? I really don't know the answer to that.
You know, in talking about that, based on what I've seen from Abomb in Heart of the Swarm thus far, he's one of the more creative players out there. You know, it's hard to define creativity, though, in a game like Heart of the Swarm, because you're going to see new stuff no matter what. So how do you define something as being creative? But compared to what other people are doing, he's a guy who's coming up with some pretty crazy strategies, really trying to use all the new units to their greatest potential. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see him get that Mothership Core out early, because, again, it also, as you said before, it provides some of that aggressive potential where you can push it across the map, with a couple stalkers, and you always have that ability to recall it back. So, I would not be surprised at all to see Abomb getting a couple gases fairly soon, and then, pumping out that mothership core, because it doesn't take that long to build anyway.
It's 30 seconds,
Yeah.
not long at all. That's like a really good point how you push out with the stalkers is really interesting, because that's something that Protoss used to do a whole ton. They still do it sometimes in Wings of Liberty, where they just harass Zerg with a couple stalkers early on. But the hard part is, it's really tough to be 100% sure when does Zerg start his Zerging speed. There's so many different points in the game when it could start it, and you can't really scout them past certain points, so it's very difficult to know. And that's why a lot of Protoss tend to be conservative with the stalkers, because if you lose 2 or 3 stalkers to speedings, all of a sudden the map control's lost. Now it's going to be hard to take a third, and it gets rough. But with this new recall that you can get out so early, that can make these little, these early pokes so much more basically easily accessible for Protoss.
Yeah, I agree 100%, and that's why I wouldn't be surprised at all to see Abomb really turn out that mothership core and see what kind of stuff you can do. Now, there's still, obviously, there's going to be danger of losing your stuff if your opponent comes really fast. I mean, it takes a bit for the mothership core to actually do the recall. I think it's the same amount of time as the mothership recall in Wings Liberty. It's not instant. It takes a little bit. So looking out for that is important. I've had plenty of games where I hit that recall button, but it was a little bit too late. My mothership core dies, and then all my stuff is forfeit. So there is a good amount of danger there, and we see Abomb opening up here with a Zealot, watching those next side to see if we can see that mothership core queued up. We'll keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, Lzgamer taking a quick third, and we can use that to kind of talk about the map a little bit. This is Akalon Wastes. There are rocks leading to your third, but from what I've heard from most pro players, and I don't know if you can agree with this, but they liked it. They like it. There's an accessible third that's protected by 2 sets of rocks, and then there's another third at the middle right, and the rest distance is pretty long. It's a 2-player map as well. Also, plenty of chokes, plenty of high ground, plenty of places you can set up defenses. So it's not surprising to see games on this map go to the late game.
It isn't, and the point you mentioned about the high ground I think is really cool, because the way the high ground works on this map is really interesting. There's so many different angles that you can put units to support other units, and so many different kind of key positions. It's really not a one-dimensional map. There's a lot of different ways to cross the map, a lot of different ways to, you can cross it around the long way, you can cross it slow pushing through the middle, you can put siege tanks on the watchtower spots to help control the ground. There's a lot of cool tactical options, which makes it, I think, probably, like you mentioned, why so many top players enjoy playing on it.
Yeah, and look at this. I love it. Abomb taking a really fast third. This is another thing you can do with that mothership core out. Again, that represents so much safety, because the mothership core also has an ability called the Photon Overcharge with that F key. You hit F and then you hit on that Nexus, and if you're being attacked, the Nexus will protect you from a lot of stuff, which is a really cool utility that obviously doesn't exist in Wings of Liberty. So Abomb taking a really fast third, and also this map, we talked about the rush, it's going to take a while, and there's a nice little choke point outside the third base. So now Lzgamer, he knows that third went up. So he has to decide, okay, do I want to be aggressive towards this, or do I want to continue with the macro? And it looks like he's going to tech up, getting that layer finished, adding on the gases to his third base. Nothing but drones in production. Also adding on those 2 EVA chambers. So it doesn't look like Lzgamer wants to do any sort of aggression whatsoever.
It looks like he is going for that Spire.
Yep.
And so the question is, what is he going to do with that Spire? I haven't been following 100% of the new patches, but I know that Milas got a little faster, right? And
yes,
did they get a regeneration?
They did. And yes, both. Yes to both.
Oh, wow. So I guess that's why he's going Spire then.
Mutas are good now. Yeah, Mutiling, I think, is a very solid strategy, but look at this. Abomb doing a little bit of aggression
here.
This
is exactly what we were talking about, how you can move out, and this is a point in the game when Azir could easily have speed, and then these units are all forfeit. But he has that mothership core there to recall back. It's really, really cool use of that.
And Lzgamer doesn't even have speed yet. It's only halfway done,
he does.
So he's really been going crazy with the drones. And the hatchery is not going to be canceled. It's just going to be killed there by Abomb. So nice little victory. He's going to start retreating across the map. Also, Lzgamer made about 20 lings there. And what are those going to do? I'm not sure they're going to do much at all.
No, I don't think so either. And it looks like he might even, Abomb might even escape across the map without having to use that recall, saving that mothership energy, which I think is going to be useful against those Mulas, because that, what's it called, the Photon Overcharge can be very, very useful against harass.
Yeah, and we see Lzgamer is what is he going to do with these links? I mean, I keep thinking about it. Like, there's 4 watchtowers on this map, so that's a great thing you can do with your links. One ling at the top, at each watchtower can give you so much vision. Of course, it's up to the Protoss to try to keep the Zerg from getting that ridiculous vision. But of course, he's going to try to keep this space at the top safe, on the left safe. So, you know, these links aren't going to, aren't going to have a large amount of utility, but it's not like they're not completely. It's not like they're completely worthless, but we see Abomb doing a lot of cool things here. First, he's getting that hallucinated Phoenix. Hallucinate is free. At least it's free to use. That's correct, right? It's free to use in Heart of the Swarm. Of course, it's still 100 energy, but
it's you start with it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. Yeah. He's also getting a Dark Shrine. Dark Shrine is much cheaper. I think it's 150, 150. So we're going to see a cool little push here from Abomb, and he's going to have the ability to mix in some Dark Templars and some Archons.
It looks like he's trying to scare Lzgamer here a bit, but he does have Blink, but there's going to be a ton of Mutas. Can his army take the quantity of Mutas? Lzgamer's going for a counterattack. I actually really like this because, I mean, this is going to force Abomb to recall back. Or actually, no, he's changed his mind. Not going for the counterattack. Oh, another cool use of Mothership Core. He's using it to detect to kill the creep tumors.
Yep, and Vision. Uh-oh, look at this. Lzgamer's going to target down the Mothership Core. I love that play. Such an important part of this composition as far as now Abomb can't necessarily recall out of this position. Lzgamer coming in with a bunch of Lings and Muta's going to try to corner this Protoss army. The Stalkers do have Blink blinking back there. The Sentry's left behind, but they're going to be just fine as Lzgamer's going to back up, get 8 more Mutalisks on the field, and perhaps re-engage later. He does not want to let this third die, but at the same time, DTs are starting to do some damage.
Oh wow, there's a DT in the main, there's a DT in the natural. Lzgamer's got a couple. The question is, oh, so many Stalkers. Lzgamer's not able to field the Zergling count he needs to supplement these Mutas. Finally clearing up those DTs.
Gosh, Lzgamer having a lot of trouble dealing with this force from Abomb. The third ends up going down. DT is still killing absolutely everything. Muta's coming forward, trying to get the damage done to those Stalkers. Not going to work. +2 weapons on these Stalkers. Very powerful indeed. Lzgamer finally going to pursue across the map. Overseer's there to detect those Dark Templars. But Abomb, I think he's happy with that attack. Now, he doesn't have a 4th behind this, but the income shows 72 Harvesters to 39 in favor of Abomb, as Lzgamer has to make some sort of aggression work because he has to somehow get twice as many drones on the field while not dying to a follow-up push from Abomb.
Not an easy task. You can see he's down by 50 food. He is actually kind of, in a way, he's up a base, but, I mean, the base at the top, there's nothing mining there, and the base on the left side has very little mining going on, so he's actually down in economy.
Yeah, not a good situation here for Lzgamer. Abomb looking so good in the first game of this King of the Hill. Again, if you want to participate and you're Grandmaster level or Pro level, join channel MLG and Heart of the Swarm. We are live right now. Abomb heading towards his 4th base. That's going to get denied. Lzgamer trying to figure out what he can do to engage this, making more and more Mutas in that production tab. But again, his economy is struggling. And Abomb is just adding on a 4th right now, continuing to build his army, continuing to work on upgrades. Lzgamer is going to try to engage once again, but Abomb is just going to blink out of there. And now we're left wondering, what can Lzgamer really do from here? And he's just going to GG, well played. And there's the nice little victory screen. Nice little new addition to Heart of the Swarm. But Abomb with some pretty solid play in game 1 there.
It was. You know, he really took the battle to Lzgamer. And Lzgamer is making Mutas. The Mutas aren't good at straight-up engagements. He really had to go for that counterattack style, but he just kept trying to defend straight on. And, you know, Mutas in a straight-on fight don't do so well against Blink Stalkers.
Even if even with the little buff they got.
That's true. That's true.
Still more of a harassment type unit. Perhaps if Lzgamer had made a bit more spines there at his 3rd base, it might have given him a little bit more of a chance there. I think it would have been a pretty solid composition against the army that Abomb was coming forward with. But a lot of cool tactics used there by Abomb as well. Of course, the Mothership Core, you always have that ability to recall, but I like how Lzgamer tried to target that down and take it out early. Again, they're very weak unit. But guys, that's going to conclude game number 1 of this King of the Hill. Abomb is on a 1-game winning streak. We'll have to see if he can keep it up. We're going to select his next opponent, and we'll be back after a quick break. Don't go down.